Before your hand reaches for the phone, before your mouth forms the first word, before the world starts pushing its noise into your mind, there is a quiet second that almost nobody respects. It looks small, it feels ordinary, but that second is dangerous because it can either build you or break you. Most people lose the day before they even stand up. They wake with pressure in the chest, old regret in the mind, and distraction already waiting at the door. Then they rush, they scroll, they react, they give themselves away too early. But if you learn how to take hold of that first moment, your morning stops being an accident. It becomes a weapon. Stay with me, because this is where everything begins. The first battle of the day is not with work, money, traffic, family, or people who doubt you. The first battle is with the first voice you hear inside yourself when the room is still silent. If that voice is weak, the day becomes heavy. If that voice is clear, the day starts to bend in a new direction. So do not wake up like a person being chased. Wake up like a person being called. Sit for one breath, just one. Let the eyes soften. Let the shoulders fall. Let your mind come back from yesterday. Right there, in that calm space, your whole day is waiting for your first command. Every morning, life places something invisible in your hands. It is clean. It is open. It has not been touched yet. And whatever you pour into it first will shape the taste of the next hours. Pour in fear, and even a simple task feels heavy. Pour in anger, and even good news tastes bitter. Pour in doubt, and your own mind begins to work against you. But pour in gratitude, courage, discipline, self-respect, and patience, and even difficulty becomes useful. That is why your morning must belong to you before it belongs to the world. Tell yourself, today I come back to myself before I give myself to anything else. Say it slowly. Mean it. Your phone wants your attention. Your worries want your strength. Your unfinished tasks want your peace before you have even collected yourself. Old mistakes want to become your identity again. Other people's opinions want to rent space in your mind. And if you do not return to yourself first, the day will tear you into pieces and then ask why you feel empty. Listen carefully. This is not about being lazy or hiding from life. This is about entering life with your center still intact. You are not here only to answer messages, solve problems, and fall asleep exhausted. You are here to become clear. You are here to become steady. You are here to become the kind of person who can walk into noise without becoming noise. And that training starts in the first minutes after waking, when the mind is soft and the soul is still close to silence. The first thing to say to yourself is simple, but it has real power. I am not my emotions. I am the one who can notice them. This matters more than most people understand. If you wake up with heaviness, you do not have to kneel to it. If you wake up anxious, that feeling does not get to decide who you are. If sadness is sitting in your chest, do not call it your identity. Call it weather. Weather moves, weather changes. The sky does not become the storm. The mountain does not become the fog. The sea does not become the wave. In the same way, you do not become every feeling that passes through you. And this one shift can save the entire day, because many people destroy a good morning by believing the first emotion that arrives. They feel irritation, so they speak sharply. They feel fear, so they avoid the thing that matters. They feel insecurity, so they compare themselves with everybody. They feel loneliness, so they ask for attention from the wrong places. They feel tired, so they label themselves weak and broken. But a trained mind does something different. It notices without obeying. It says, anger is here, fear is here, doubt is here, sadness is here. Not as a king, not as a command, just as a visitor. And the moment you stop worshipping every emotion, space appears inside you. And inside that space, freedom begins. This is where your strength starts. Not when you feel perfect, but when you can feel deeply without becoming lost. Real power is not pretending you feel nothing. Real power is feeling everything and still staying in the center. To be afraid and still act with honesty is strength. To be sad and still be gentle is strength. To be tired and still keep your word is strength. To be angry and still speak with control is strength. Every morning, ask yourself, who is watching this feeling? There is the fear, and there is the one who sees the fear. There is the thought that says you cannot do it, and there is the quiet witness who hears that thought and does not bow. Build your identity around that witness. It is deeper than your mood, older than your problem, more stable than your panic. Many people have talent but still fail because emotion becomes the leader. Many people look successful on the outside but live like prisoners because every opinion controls their breathing. Do not let your inner weather run your life. Emotions are messengers. Thoughts are tools. Fear is information, not prophecy. Anxiety is energy, not a sentence. Sadness is a signal asking for care, not proof that life is hopeless. Anger is heat, not an order. So when the morning begins, sit still and say, whatever rises in me today, I will see it clearly. I will not become every storm. I will not chase every thought. I will not bow to every fear. Stay with this, because most people never learn it. They think freedom means doing whatever they feel. No. Freedom means being able to choose even when feeling tries to pull you somewhere else. That is maturity. That is inner command. That is how the day stops owning you. Then tell yourself something stronger. Today, I will do the hard thing before the hard thing starts doing damage to me. This is where many lives quietly fall apart. Not because people do not know what matters, but because they keep delaying what matters. They hope the day will become easy on its own. It will not. The task you avoid does not disappear. It waits. It grows. It follows you into lunch. It sits beside you at night. It turns into pressure in the chest and irritation in the voice. Avoidance feels soft at first, but it becomes suffering with no reward. Every morning there is one thing that, if faced early, makes the rest of the day lighter. Maybe it is exercise, maybe it is study, maybe it is a hard conversation, maybe it is an apology you keep delaying, maybe it is opening the laptop and writing the first page, maybe it is checking the numbers you are afraid to see, maybe it is cleaning the room you keep pretending not to notice. Maybe it is refusing the habit that keeps stealing your future one small piece at a time. The hard thing is different for each person, but the resistance feels the same. The body resists, the mind bargains, the ego whispers later, the old pattern says tomorrow. But this is the moment that changes a life. When the mind says later, you answer now. When the body says, I do not feel ready, you answer, I do not need to feel ready to begin. When fear asks, what if I fail? You answer, then I will learn with dignity. This is not self-punishment. This is self-rescue. The gate to your next life does not open for desire alone. It opens for action. It does not care how many plans you made in your head, how many promises you whispered to yourself at night, or how inspired you felt watching other people transform. The gate opens when your hand moves, when your feet step, when your breath stays steady while your mind complains. That is how discipline is born, not from motivation, from repeated action in the presence of resistance. So in the morning, do not waste strength arguing with the task. Attack the beginning. Put on the shoes, open the book, make the call, drink the water, sit at the desk, step outside, touch the work with your hands. Once you begin, the monster gets smaller. Before you begin, it looks huge. This is why the first enemy is not the task itself. The first enemy is the delay before the task. And if you win that first fight, something changes in your posture. You begin to trust yourself again. You begin to feel clean inside because you did not leave your future self to carry the debt of today's avoidance. Listen carefully now. Comfort is not always kindness. Sometimes comfort is the soft place where your potential slowly falls asleep. Sometimes the thing that feels heavy at sunrise becomes the reason you respect yourself at night. A person with self-respect may still have a hard life, but they have a strong relationship with themselves. They know this. I did not abandon myself today. And that sentence creates a kind of peace that lazy comfort never can. Now protect the next thing with your life, your attention. In this age, attention is not a small thing. It is the battlefield. Wherever your attention goes, your life slowly follows. If your attention is scattered, your days become scattered. If your attention is poisoned, your inner world becomes poisoned. If your attention is trained, your life becomes sharper, cleaner, and more powerful. Many people say they are tired, but the deeper truth is that their energy is leaking through 1,000 open doors. They wake up and hand their mind to a screen before they have even met themselves. They let strangers choose their first emotion. They let headlines choose their first fear. They let notifications choose their first duty. They let images choose their first insecurity. They let other people's lives choose their first comparison. And then they wonder why their own purpose feels far away. The phone is not evil. The world is not evil. But an unguarded mind becomes public property. So tell yourself in the morning, my attention is sacred and I will not spend it cheaply. Imagine that you wake up with a bowl of clear water. Every notification is a hand reaching into that bowl. Every useless argument throws dust into it. Every comparison adds poison. Every careless scroll creates a crack at the bottom. By noon, people feel empty and cannot explain why. But the reason is simple. They gave themselves away in pieces. So before asking what the world wants from you, ask what your life is asking from you today. That question can pull your mind back from chaos and place it on purpose again. Do one thing with full attention early in the day. One thing, not 5 things at once. Drink tea and only drink tea. Walk and only walk. Stretch and only stretch. Read and only read. Pray and only pray. Breathe and only breathe. At first, this will feel harder than it sounds because the mind is used to being pulled in many directions. It runs, bring it back, it runs again, bring it back again. That is not failure, that is training. Every return is a repetition. Every repetition strengthens the muscle of presence. People think focus is a gift. It is not. Focus is built by returning again and again until the mind learns who is in charge. And when you protect your attention, you protect more than productivity. You protect depth. You protect the part of you that can still think clearly, love honestly, work well, rest deeply, and hear what truly matters. Shallow attention creates shallow work, shallow love, shallow peace, shallow joy. Depth creates mastery. Depth creates meaning. Depth creates the kind of success that does not leave you empty. So if your mind tries to run to noise first thing in the morning, stop for a moment and say, not yet. My mind does not belong to every voice. My energy does not belong to every demand. My morning is not for random consumption. It is for alignment. And here is a line worth remembering. If you cannot hold your attention, someone else will hold it for you. And if someone else holds it long enough, they will slowly shape the direction of your life. Do not let that happen. Guard the doorway. Then remember this before you meet anyone. Today I will face people without losing myself. A lot of suffering does not come from life itself. It comes from how quickly people hand their center to other human beings. Someone speaks coldly and peace disappears. Someone does not reply and worth disappears. Someone criticizes and confidence disappears. Someone praises and humility disappears. Someone rejects and identity disappears. That is not freedom. That is living with your roots in other people's hands. So remind yourself early, I can be kind without becoming weak. I can listen without swallowing poison. I can love without begging. I can serve without disappearing. I can be misunderstood without collapsing. I can be corrected without feeling destroyed. I can be praised without becoming arrogant. I can be rejected without rejecting myself. This is emotional balance. This is quiet strength. People will come to you carrying their own storms. Do not become every storm that enters the room. Some people are sharp because they are wounded. Some are proud because they are afraid. Some are cold because no one taught them warmth. Some attack because deep down they feel small. If you react blindly to every wounded person, you will spend your life bleeding from wounds that were never yours. Compassion does not mean letting someone else dump darkness into your chest. Compassion means seeing clearly and responding wisely. So say it. Today, another person's mood will not become my master. That sentence can save your dignity in moments that would usually steal it. And yes, this part matters more than people think because one careless reaction can undo a peaceful morning. When someone tests you today, and someone will, remember the breath before the answer. Maybe they speak with disrespect. Maybe they ignore your effort. Maybe they twist your intention. Maybe they bring bad energy into the room and expect you to join them. The old self wants to react fast. It wants to defend, attack, explain too much, chase approval, shut down, punish, or run away. But your morning promise returns right there in the heat of the moment. I will meet people without losing myself. One breath can save a relationship. One breath can protect your name. One breath can stop hours, months, even years of regret. Do not confuse fast reaction with strength. A person who can be triggered by anything is not powerful. They are available. Anyone can press the button. Real strength is when the button is touched and nothing automatic happens. You choose. You may speak clearly. You may walk away. You may set a boundary. You may say no. You may forgive. You may say this is not acceptable. But it comes from clarity, not explosion. It comes from your center, not from your wound. See the people you meet as part of your training, the rude stranger, the impatient parent, the jealous co-worker, the difficult customer, the silent partner, the friend who does not understand, the person in traffic trying to pull you into their chaos. Each one is a bell. When they ring, they reveal your practice. They show you where you are still reactive, where you still hunger for approval, where you still mistake being liked for being whole. Do not hate the bell. Learn from it, but do not become it. And now hold the final truth close. Today, I will move as if my life matters, because it does. This is not ego. This is memory. Too many people wake up as if they are an accident. They move through the day like nothing is sacred. They waste words. They waste breath. They waste food. They waste love. They waste time. They wait for some giant sign before they begin to live with dignity. But the sign has already arrived. You woke up. Your heart is still beating. Air is still entering your lungs. The door of this day opened for you. What more permission do you need? Meaning is not always something you find far away. Sometimes meaning enters through the way you do very ordinary things. You can wash a cup like a sleeping person, or you can wash it like a grateful person who still has hands. You can answer a message like a machine, or you can answer like someone who knows words can heal or harm. You can walk into work like a prisoner or like a warrior entering training. You can eat without awareness or with respect for every unseen hand that helped bring that food to your table. Meaning enters when attention and gratitude touch simple things. So tell yourself, I will not wait for life to look perfect before I treat it as precious, because the mind always tries to delay reverence. When I have more money, then I will be calm. When they finally respect me, then I will stand tall. When my body changes, then I will value myself. When circumstances improve, then I will be grateful. But if you wait for perfect conditions to become noble, you may wait forever. Nobility is practiced in imperfect conditions. Peace is practiced in noise. Discipline is practiced in resistance. Faith is practiced in uncertainty. Love is practiced when the heart has reasons to close. So when you say, my life has meaning, you are not pretending every moment feels beautiful. Some mornings are hard. Some bodies wake up in pain. Some minds wake up carrying old memories. Some rooms feel empty because someone is gone. Some people begin the day already holding grief, debt, pressure, illness, loneliness, responsibility, regret. Do not insult real pain with fake positivity. Respect it. Look at it honestly. Then say, even here, I will not abandon my life. That is a sacred sentence. Even here, even with this fear, even with this loss, even with this tired body, even with this uncertainty, even with this imperfect start, I will not walk away from my own life. The world teaches people to measure meaning by applause, but the deepest meaning often has no audience. A parent waking early to provide, a student studying while others sleep, a person healing from addiction one honest morning at a time, a worker choosing integrity when no one would notice the lie. a human being refusing bitterness after betrayal, an older soul still offering kindness after many losses. These things may never become famous, but they are not small. Life is built from quiet discipline. The small things are not small. The way you make your bed speaks to order. The way you speak to yourself speaks to your future. The way you spend money speaks to your desires. The way you keep promises speaks to your soul. So carry these words into the rest of the day, not like decoration, but like tools. Do not just say them when the room is calm. Use them when the day starts testing you. Use them when emotion rises. Use them when delay whispers. Use them when distraction knocks. Use them when someone tries to pull you out of yourself. Use them when pain tells you to give up on your own life. That is where morning wisdom proves it is real, not at sunrise, but at noon, not in silence, but in pressure, not in comfort, but in friction. And if you forget once, return. If you fall once, return. If you lose the thread for an hour, return. The day is not lost because you stumbled. It is lost only when you stop coming back. That is the deeper lesson. Return to yourself, return to the breath, return to the hard thing, return to focus, return to your center, return to meaning again and again. This is how a person changes, not through one dramatic promise, but through steady return. And when night comes, ask yourself a simple question. Did I stay with myself today? Did I face what mattered? Did I protect my mind? Did I meet people with balance? Did I treat this life like something precious? If the answer is yes, even partly, then something real happened today. And tomorrow morning, when that first quiet second appears again, you will know what to do. You will not rush to the noise. You will not hand your spirit away. You will breathe. You will remember. And you will begin like a person who knows the day is not something to survive. It is something to shape.